Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel called Zuzanareacts, where I learn all things parallel with your help and I just share my Slovak Central European point of view. And today is a part 4 of the Billionaire Ranveer podcast interview. And I am super excited. I've been thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you have been on this journey with me. And I just say, let's go. But before we do,
please like this video and click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Thank you so much for your support.
Okay, so let's just go to the final leg and let's see what we all can learn from him.
So people, there are a lot of homeless. So you would be surprised about the crime and the homeless people in San Francisco.
So again, I don't know how true this is because I've not been to America since 2018. But we've had people who've come on the show and they're saying that parts of America are growing a lot, like new cities. Austin is coming up a lot, Denver is coming up a lot. But the old power centers, which is New York and San Francisco, are degrading.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true?
Yeah, that's true. People are leaving San Francisco because of crimes increasing, drugs increasing, homeless increasing. And the costs are super high, so they want to relocate, especially now with after the pandemic and home working facilities, people prefer to relocate.
But it's still a big business market.
It's still Google, Microsoft, Apple. It's difficult to beat.
How do Europeans generally look at America? Is it aspirational to go there?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of things to learn. Like in product design, they are very good. Huh? Marketing, they are the pro of marketing.
Yeah, best.
Service, they are the pro of service. Like all they serve in restaurant or they are very good in a lot of things. So they are leader for a real reason. But they also drawbacks. That's why it's a mixed bag.
What I like the most about Americans are the conversations. Best conversations I ever hear are on American podcasts.
Yes.
And that says a lot.
Yeah, they are very good storytellers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's because when they get kids, my kids, when they were there, at a very young age, like 3 years or 4 years old, they are on the stage in front of the class and they have to present things every week. So they get very early on in their teaching, they teach kids to present things. They had something called, what was the name? I don't remember the name of the thing, but every week the kid had to bring something from home, go in front of every student and explain why it was important. Show and tell. And every week. And so they practice a lot of that.
Wow.
Which is difficult when you do interviews. Huh? Because when I arrived in the US and I did interviews with America, everyone felt very smart for me. But most of them were bullshitting or trying to show themselves better than what they are.
Yeah.
It took me time to understand because when you listen to them, they are so good that it feels that they are really, really, really good. The reality is a bit different. They're very good at selling, talking. So you have to look behind that.
How do you look behind it?
I think it's come with experience.
Pattern recognition.
Yeah.
You need to pick up where people are bullshitting.
Yeah. One of the things we do in recruitment is we don't discuss too much how to do. We actually do real exercise. So if you recruit a developer, make him develop. If you recruit an engineer, make him design architecture, understand business flow, to discuss about business flow, but don't talk about the resume. They will just make you feel like they're the best. If you talk about resume, you won't understand anything.
Yeah, I was telling some American friends of mine, these are not like Indian Americans, like American Americans, white guys, black guys. I was telling them that what I admire about your culture a lot is the whole sales culture. You project yourself very well. Like I've learned that. And honestly, I'm using it in India. I think there's a lot for Indians to learn because we are the opposite of it. Like for us, there's a lot of people who, even if they're really good, they're too shy to tell. Do you see that about India?
Yeah. Americans are much, much better on that.
Yeah. Something India can learn from America.
Of course. That, marketing, product design, they're very good on this.
What would you hire an American for? Marketing?
For sure. Especially in content. Content writer, storytelling, they are very good.
Because of this show and tell, and I think because of the television culture.
Also, it's their native language. For us, English is our second language. So I'm pretty sure, for me at least, I would have better answer in French. It helps when it's your native language.
What would you hire me for? Like now that you've gotten to know me.
Content?
Would you hire me?
We do a lot of videos. I don't think I can afford you.
No. I mean, if I didn't have the podcast, would you have hired me in India?
Yeah, for content, it's having good people in terms of content doing video is super important. We do, we produce to do something like 600 videos per year. So we have a huge team of content, video production. We have a podcast.
Where do you put it up?
On YouTube mostly.
For maintaining your community.
Yes. So it's mostly about education. Huh? We have videos about how you can improve your sales, how you can better do your accounting, project management, how you can build a website with Odoo. So it's more about tutorials, things like that. But it's very important for the community. So it's more about tutorials, things like that. But it's very important for the community.
Brother, let's have a larger conversation here, okay, about content and community, because this is just a theoretical thing I've heard from a lot of people. And I don't see that really happening in India right now, other than with a few brands. So every brand says build your own community and then monetize it. But I don't actually see too much of that happening. Okay. Now, parallelly, going back to a conversation about how you scaled your business, you said that one of your main marketing angles is that you have an active community.
No, yes and no. Developing a community is not the role of marketing. It helps, marketing helps, but we have a very strong community because of development. Because we are open source, so people can download and modify our software. So even students in universities, their teacher organize course on Odoo, and they go on GitHub. So they collaborate with us on GitHub. They make what we call pull requests. So they propose feature, they develop new feature on the software, they propose to us. We have a community because we collaborate together to build something. You don't build a community just with marketing. That's not community. That's segment of a market's customer segment, but it's not marketing. Marketing is something where we do something together. And doing something, the community, is about doing something together. We have a very strong community. We have two types of community, partners and community, who are not contracted, who don't even have a contract with us. But the community works because they are generating revenues from Odoo. Not because we market to them. And so they depend on us. We work together. They develop new features for us because these communities are developers or partner or consultant who sell service on Odoo. And it's a big ecosystem. One thing people misunderstood usually with Odoo is that they think, okay, it's a company of 4,000 people. The reality is not that. Odoo is an ecosystem with 200,000 people whose full-time job is to work on Odoo, selling, developing, or doing consulting on it. And that is a community. When your people rely on your products because it's their life or their work, that becomes a community of fans. And the way you behave with them, we collaborate with them. So we develop together on the same feature. They can have the source code of our product, improve things, send back to us for feedback. That's a community organization. Marketing is not. Marketing is customer segment.
What is the purpose of the content you're creating?
Helping this community. So it's about teaching, educating. It's not about marketing. It's not about selling. It's about making them become smarter and better.
So that actually then they can loop back into adding value.
Because if they are smarter and better, they will sell more Odoo service and then I will get revenues. But it's all about them. It's not about us. It's something a lot of companies miss in marketing is that it's all about your people. It's not about you.
Content as a skill, does it have a role to play in the future of worldwide businesses?
Oh, for sure.
It's an important skill to be able
more and more. I mean, look at the influencer marketing. It's exploding. Content everywhere is exploding. And there are some areas where it's very well behind. So like B2C is very mature. There are a lot of influencer marketing in B2C. B2B, there's barely nothing. It's very limited. So it's like we are at the very early beginning of B2B marketing on content, whether it's video or podcast or whatever. It's very early days, I would say. It's more mature in B2C. So it means that we still have a few years of strong growth on this market because of that. Because of the B2B would only start to address this.
If one has content-related skills like editing, okay, if someone's a very good editor, very good content creator, you would hire that person.
Yes.
And would other international businesses also hire these kind of people?
Yeah, you don't need a lot. So for instance, at Odoo, over 4,000 people, I have 7 who do, because it's not a core business. You would work for a content company, that would be totally different. But despite everything we do in marketing, we have 7 out of 4,000 people who do content editing.
Got it.
Whether it's audio, video, we have more designers. Designers, we have a lot. Designer, I think we have 70, something around 70, because we offer that as a service for our client. Because we have an app which is a website builder, and it's part of our service to say, you want to improve the design, we can also do service on top of the website builder.
You know Naval Ravikant?
No.
He's a big tech influencer on Twitter, and he's very big in America. So he has a saying, and he's very respected in the tech community in America especially, but also India now. He said that if you know how to code, or if you know how to create good quality of content, then it's likely that you will make money in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Code, everyone understands, like how you can make money. But do you agree with the content side of things, that if you know how to make good quality content?
It gets more difficult. I think in the early days, a lot of successful artists or content creator that we started 5-10 years ago, it was much easier. Today, it's more difficult, but it's still true. The very good, best guys, but it's a bit, I believe it's a bit like a sport. Only the top succeed to go out of the crowd.
Yeah, true. You're talking about content creation, right?
Yes.
You're not talking about content.
Only the few percentage that are extremely good will make it a big business.
Have you ever thought of what makes those few very good? Like in your eyes, what makes a good content creator?
I'm not a good content consumer, so I don't know. I don't watch that much.
So fair to say that in your eyes, it's just numbers. The guys, because I'm assuming that that's you.
Let's speak about Odoo, because I have a big content team, but for Odoo, we serve a different purpose. It's not about views; it's about helping others. But still, views are useful for us. For me, it's about educating. So the viewer should learn something, should have fun while he learns, but he should be better after having viewed the videos. I'm not so much about entertainment. There is a big business on entertainment, but as a company, what I really like is when we provide value. I used to say that developers, they create value. they create the value of in the product. Marketing or content, they create the perception of the value. You can create the best value you want. If people don't understand it, it's not a value because they won't use it. So you need both.
What have you picked up about content creation today?
A podcast or interview show is similar to what we used to do in Europe. I feel like it's the same kind of discussion.
Like you've done a podcast in Europe?
Yes, big ones. Yeah.
Okay, and they've asked you similar questions?
No, not similar question, but the ideas are the same. If we have to be open, have a good discussions, what interests people are the same, I think. They want to learn, have fun.
How do I expand in Europe as a content creator?
I think you are better at your job than me. Huh? I think you better know than me.
How do I reach your view? How can more European people who are in positions of power get to know that I exist? Maybe a way I'll rephrase that question is, what do you guys need in terms of content?
I think that content creator, it's like product. It's something you build on the long term. You have to start small and acquire and acquire and acquire. There is no magic formula of how can I get 1 million views directly. It doesn't work that way. You have to build, improve, adapt to the audience. And it's because you do it for 5 to 10 years that it starts to get big. The audience in Europe, for instance, or in America, it's difficult because, the largest B2B YouTube channel in Belgium is 20K subscribers. Wow. So you as an Indian, you will be probably very frustrated in Europe. In Belgium, in France, it's a little bit bigger, but still, we are not talking about the same number of viewers.
How do you look at the future of social media from your global perspective?
For Odoo as a brand, it's great. It's a way to educate people where they are. Some are on Instagram, on YouTube, but it's a way for us to distribute education and explain and teach to our community. So in a way, it's very good. Yeah, it's good.
What do you think is the future of social media in the world? Have you ever thought of this?
No, I've never thought about this. I think it's bad for kids. So I'm not sure the future is, maybe, I don't know if you are at the top or if it will continue growing in terms of value it provides to humanity. Because obviously there is some drawbacks to it. The IQ, since we measure IQ like 100 something years, has always increased. And there are a lot of people who have an IQ superior to Einstein today. It always increased. Over the past 5 or 10 years, I don't know, it decreased. And social media is one of the 2 reasons about it. It's because when you always watch TV, spend time on social media or play video games, your brain is not thinking, and you are probably losing ability to concentrate yourself.
Do you play video games?
No, not so much. I developed video games. I developed a lot, but I didn't play.
Is there anything you do outside of work for fun?
Being with friends, party with friends, I like, but I work a lot, and because for me, work is fun. I prefer to. Work is for me is building things, creating things, innovation. This is super fun. It's problem solving. It's creative. It's always different. It's very fun. I
think very few people in the world find the thing that they were born to do, and you're one of those lucky guys.
Yes,
you're born to do exactly this job.
Yeah, and you are probably one too.
Yeah, 100%. Man.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoy my job. Like it gets a lot quantity wise. Yeah. Like
and being happy doesn't mean easy. So you have to work a lot. You sometimes do things you don't like. But all in all, if you like the output of what you do, then you will be happy.
Yeah. I have not asked these kind of questions for a very long time on the show because there was a phase with this podcast where people wanted to know personalities and it was about self-improvement. Okay. And I've kind of removed those questions from the show and I've made it more about culture and, the future. But when I meet people like you, I have to go back to that original set of questions sometimes because you're very rare. You've got material success, but still personality is in the right place. Heart is in the right place, which for me is like the most important. Which is why I'm asking you this. And it's probably the last question of today. Tell me about like the worst moment of your life or the most painful moment or the moment you felt the most shame.
I've had very difficult times. And usually these difficult times were very difficult on the moment. But I noticed a few years after that actually it was a good thing. I can give you a few examples. One of the very hard times is when I had a company, 6 employees. 5 employees at the time, and 3 developers and 1 admin, and me. And the 3 developers, they left at the same time. So from one day to another, I had nobody to deliver the service. I had to do everything myself for 4 people. And they did that, and usually they did that by preparing a product that is a competitor to Odoo. It failed, but they did that. So a few months before, they stopped delivering service to clients. So I also had, at the same time, a lot of clients complaining that I have to satisfy myself. When it happens, I was like down very, very, very down. So it's very hard for me. I was like, how can I?
How old do we
go back? I don't know, maybe 27 or something. How do I get back to that? And then I walked. I recruited other people. And after that, like once the storm ended up, I noticed to myself, actually, it was a good thing. I needed them to leave and to start with new employees. It was very difficult on the moment, but in the life of the company, that's been a good thing. But you don't notice that when it happens. You only see it very closely, like, oh, no, I will suffer. I was already working 14 hours a day. No, I will have to work even more, and I will have a hungry customer, and so on. But it turns out to be a very good thing because it allows me to turn down the company, start again with people with a better mindset, and do better things.
Any other moment?
No, but it's the key things to get from that is that the most difficult times are usually what makes you better after or makes you learn something.
Okay. Fabian, thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's all I'll say. I asked you my own questions, man. Like, I think India needed a bit of a global business perspective. First time we're doing that on the show. I enjoyed every bit of this conversation. Like, there wasn't even one part where I got bored because you gave such different perspectives, man. So usually at the end of my podcast, I compliment the guest on something I picked up about the person through the course of this episode. But I've already told you all my compliments.
Yeah, you have to stop complimenting.
Yeah, I've been too nice to you.
It's too much.
Yeah, but I really appreciate your time. Okay. That's the base compliment I can give you. I totally know how busy you might be. And all I'll say is this will add value to lives for like 10, 20 years.
Okay, so I believe this is the end to the podcast. Wow, what did you guys think? What did you guys think? I loved it. I found the insights validating, incredible. Some were like things that I know. Some they're like new eye-opening stuff. What is your take on this podcast? What is the one thing that you really learned and you're going to take away? Please do let me know in the comments. It's been truly fascinating. And what I've picked up in this section, and he was talking about, Ranveer, I think, was talking about the Indian entrepreneur that being very shy to tell. And that's actually, interestingly enough, also a trait of, I would say, Slovak people. And I think that, because you were ruled for so long, we were Slovakia as people, we were like under Hungarians for thousands of years. And it's what I call like I don't want to offend anyone here, but I think about Slovak people as having a slave mentality. And unless, I think that the Slovak mentality is like, unless you are like creme de la creme, like the top of the top, and or when you speak English just like exactly like a native English speaker, only then people feel like they are good enough, which is I feel like very, to me that's a slave mentality, because there's just, I think through the years of being ruled over, being told that you're not smart. I'm sure that you guys know the story. It's tough. And I think there's so I'm personally very passionate about communication and the way we talk, and especially business communication. So I was always fascinated by like, how can I be as succinct as possible? So short, sweet, concise in my business communication. It's become like an obsession of mine. And I think there was a book, I don't know which one now, but maybe, I don't know if it's Time to Think by Nancy Klein, but there were a couple of books. In one, it said that when you are developing, let's say, a new skill, in which case that's ability to sell, is that the lady was talking about an example of a little girl that was, let's say, trying to be more assertive. So what happened was, you start communicating when you start working on it, like, because you don't have the kind of the idea how to do it well, because it doesn't exist, you don't feel comfortable. You go almost to an extreme, and you're just being like way too maybe rude, coming across and assertive, etc. And that's kind of like how you go on your trajectory. And then you slowly, as you learn, you come to it. But we do, it's interesting, because we when I went to one conference, I met a Slovak guy who, so Slovakia is actually quite techy. Lots of developers here, also very good developers here from what I'm aware of, and they cannot sell themselves. So one guy who lived also like a Slovak abroad, like he basically decided, well, you know, you guys are very good, you just don't know how to sell you. So what he does, like, he's created a company and he just goes around and sells Slovak developers, and they're creating a very, very good product. So it can be done, it can be achieved, but that's something, I guess, to be worked on. And it's that communication piece, and then building your self-awareness, the how you think about yourself, and how you think about yourself translates a lot in how you speak. So if you have a particular belief that you are shy, you're going to be communicating from, I'm speaking this little, or like, you know, but that's not that important, you know. So, you know, like, I just wanted to demonstrate like how a belief can impact the way you are, how you behave. And when you work on yourself, and I know that we've discussed before that I think that spirituality in India is perhaps more important than psychology because that's transient. However, I think when you want to be successful in life and business, it's all well and nice to be spiritual, but and develop your practice, and that's important. However, it's also super important to work on yourself, to understand who you are and why you behave the way you behave, and how to be the best possible version for you that serves you and serves the people around you. And that's in the Western world what psychology, let's say, deals with. Or, you know, when I talk about myself as a life coaching, this is why I'm personally, you know, very passionate about it, because, you know, for example, with me, with my clients, I would see immediate results. And that can just like improve your own quality of life. So I think especially in nations like ours, I think it's important to plug up the courage, because there are gazillions of good people, but the point is you don't have to be arrogant, but you have to learn how to go from that not be like being shy to not being rude to just coming to the middle. So yeah. And what was there? Oh yeah, one important thing I think with entrepreneurship, or with, because this guy, what was going through my mind, I was like, this is the exact guy that follows his dharma. Like, he's doing what he should be doing as in a duty, but he's also passionate about it. So I found it quite interesting. But I think that many people, I don't know how it is in India, but also in the West, like, I would meet and they would like, you know, but I'm not passionate about this, and they are only going to be doing things that they just truly enjoy. But even though you truly enjoy something, there will be things. So for example, as a life coach, I don't want to be like, I just want to read the books that I'm interested in that will help my clients, and spend as much time as coaching as possible and prepare for it properly, so I can deliver the value. But I don't want to do marketing, I don't want to do sales, I don't want to do advertising, and I don't want to do admin. However, if you want to do one, it's kind of linked to the other. So it's many people I feel like, at least here, feel like, you know, when you do what you're passionate about, you will love all of it. And what he had said in the video is the testament to that. It's not quite like that, because you will have to deal with a lot of things that you're not passionate about, that you're not interested in. And this is where you need to be, I believe, strongly rooted in who you are and what you want to be able to make the sacrifices. And as also he had highlighted, it's all about a balance. It's never just a standalone thing. You know, everything is interlinked. And when he was talking about a bad experience, is like, if I would, let's say, look at my life, it's what shapes you as a human. Like, if you're always in a comfort zone, there's no growth in a comfort zone, they say. So you know, those tragic experiences, those bad experiences in life, another saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I'm not saying it has to be extreme, but they reshape who you are. And I feel like it's just so important on the journey of becoming of who you kind of want to be, and then being happy with who you are and how you treat your people around you, your community, etc. So I think I went on for a really long time. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this podcast with me. If you did enjoy it, please give a thumbs up, share, like, and subscribe to this channel. And I will see you in the next one. Until then, please do take care. I am sending much love. Bye-bye.